Okay, guys, so welcome to this short video. We're going to have a look at the oil price as we have the biggest investment banks, Goldman Sachs, forecasting that oil demand is going to be rising at an unprecedented level because of the vaccination campaign that's being rolled out around the world. So just remember, guys, as the vaccination program is being rolled out, this is going to increase the demand for oil because you're going to have the aviation industry flying globally again, and you're going to have cars on the road and people are going to be traveling a lot more, and that's going to really boost the demand for oil. We've seen by looking at the economic data that the manufacturing PMI data in the United States, which is the leading economic indicator for oil in itself, is now very bullish, and oil is climbing higher and following suit. So you can clearly see here, highlighted in blue, you have the manufacturing data. And when we look at the manufacturing data, we know that manufacturing makes up 20% of the US economy and predicts GDP growth with an 85% certainty. So when you have manufacturing below the level of 50 and contracting, this is indicating the US economy is going into a recession, and that's why the oil price automatically falls in value dramatically, as we can clearly see in 2008. Because if the US economy is contracting, so is the global economy. And this has a negative impact on oil demand because the US is the world's biggest economy. And if it goes into contraction, so does the rest of the world. Soon as the manufacturing PMI data bottoms and starts to rise higher, then we see oil turn and start to rise alongside the manufacturing data. And we start to see a bullish trend in oil prices at the same time. Now, you can clearly see from looking at the chart, they literally move hand in hand with each other. And since the manufacturing data bottomed last year, around 4 or 5 months after the sell-off, then we started to see oil prices follow suit and start to rise in the markets. Now you've got the US fiscal stimulus package, $1.9 trillion came from Joe Biden's administration into the US economy, and you're having the global economy recover at the same time. So Europe's vaccinating their people, the US, South America, Asia, Africa, and with all these people coming back to work at the same time, that's going to dramatically boost the demand for oil. And that's why they're calling oil to go into a super cycle. If you read the notes of Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, a lot of these big banks are saying oil could go easily back up to $100 a barrel if all these economies at the same time pick up their demand for oil. And remember, OPEC has been cutting supply on purpose since last year to boost the price of oil. When you look at the demand and supply equation that derives the price of the commodity. What we need to understand when we're looking at oil, more importantly, is we know historically the oil fluctuates on a month-by-month basis by around 25%. So when we do a volatility ATR, we can see that over the past year, oil fluctuates by around 25%. So what we can do when we understand that volatility is that we can see these pullbacks in the long-term trend as buying opportunities for us in the market. So we can clearly see the last pullback was around 22%. The recent pullback has been around 15%. So when we get these pullbacks in price, we know this is normal if we're trading over 1 to 3 months. If we're using a 1 to 3 ratio to make sure our accounts are growing, then we can use these pullbacks as buying opportunities to get back into the long-term trend if you're not already trading oil. Obviously, we can trade the commodity currencies that trade alongside oil, like the Norwegian krona, for an example, or the Russian ruble, or the Canadian dollar. And if oil keeps rising, these currencies should strengthen as well. So hope that makes sense. Remember, you can come and trade oil with me and my members in my private service, or come and join my free channel if you're not already in here and get these videos every day looking at certain trade ideas. So hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you for watching.